Welcome to the online video series presented by Structure Studios. This video will explain the Custom Shapes tool. Custom shapes are unique in that they can be rotated in any direction while in 3D, and they do not interact with other shapes. We'll review a number of examples of how we can complete our project using custom shapes. First, we'll create an outdoor kitchen. Using our line tool, we'll create the overall shape of the kitchen we plan to build. We'll draw 20 feet left, 12 feet down, 3 feet right, 9 feet up, 17 feet right, and finally 3 feet up. Or double-click on the last point with the Auto-Complete target present to complete the shape. We'll make sure our shape is set to custom shape instead of pergola and set the height to 3 feet. Shapes drawn in this stage can be switched between custom shape and pergola at any time in 2D. When we go to 3D, we'll see our shape that will act as the base for our kitchen. Now let's adjust the elevation. Under Object Settings, we'll turn off Auto Elevation and set the elevation to 2 feet 6 inches so our kitchen base will sit on top of our raised hardscape. Next, we'll return to 2D to create the countertop for the kitchen. We'll use the Outline tool on our base and trace around the entire shape until it's complete. Then we'll set the height to 3 inches and increase the elevation to 5 feet 6 inches to place the countertop on top of the base. Now we'll return to 3D. In 3D, we see our countertop on top of the base. We can also add a custom lip style to our custom shape. With custom shapes, lip styles will match the height of the shape. We'll choose the round lip style and see the lip style instantly added to our countertop. Our kitchen looks good, but we want a bar area for bar stools. So we'll return to 2D and adjust our base. First, we'll select our base with the Move tool. We'll left-click and drag the midpoint on the right side of the shape. We'll drag it left until the top measurement is 10 feet. Now we can draw a new shape under the bar area. We'll draw right 10 feet with the Line tool, then down 3 feet, then left 2 feet. We need to leave room for our bar stools and our client's legs, so we'll create a recessed space. We'll draw up 2 feet, then left 8 feet, and then complete our shape. When we go into 3D, we see our shape will use the settings of the last shape we selected, so it will match the other base. While in 3D, we can select and adjust the shapes as needed, moving and adjusting as needed. Later, in the materials stage, we can apply different finishes to each surface. And in yard accessories, we can add details such as grills, sinks, doors, and more. Make sure to watch the materials and yard accessories videos for more information. Earlier in the house stage, we created a covered area by drawing a new shape and selecting the Roof Only button. We want to add some details such as beams to this roof, so we can use custom shapes to complete this. We'll create our beams in 2D using the Line tool. We'll follow the edge of our house shape, but since we want our beam to extend past our roof, we'll continue drawing past the edge. We'll then draw 1 foot to the right, then back down to match our original line, and complete our shape. When we return to 3D, we see a shape that matches the settings of the last kitchen base we created. We'll adjust this shape's height to 9 inches and use the Move tool to raise it to cover the edge of our roof. We can use the Move tool to adjust the beam until it's in the perfect spot. We can access the materials stage at any time to update the finish on our beam, and the next shape we create will remember this setting. We want to add the same beam to the other side of the roof. We can copy and paste the beam in 3D and place it in position. Using keyboard shortcut Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste, or using the copy and paste buttons in the top menu bar. We can use both 2D and 3D to ensure it's in the proper place, lining up with the house and covering the overhang of the roof. We'll paste another beam and place it in the middle of the roof. We'll raise it in 3D until it's positioned between the two hips of the roof. We can adjust this later as well, once we add our angled beams. Lastly, we'll add one more beam to span the distance between the two sides of our roof. When we paste it and put it in place, we see it's not quite long enough. Using our Move tool in 3D, we can pull the purple midpoint until our custom shape reaches the other side of the roof. Back in 2D, we want to create our angled beams. We'll draw a rectangle, 10 feet by 9 inches, and complete our shape. We'll make sure the height is set to 9 inches as well. In 3D, we'll make sure our beam is under the roof. Custom shapes can be rotated in any direction in 3D. We can switch to our Rotate tool. We see the blue, red, and green arrows update to show the different directions we can rotate. We'll left-click and rotate along the appropriate axis and see the shape change right away. We currently have our angle snap set to world angle, which makes our shape snap to 45-degree angles. We need greater freedom of movement, so we'll turn the angle snap to none under snaps and constraints. Now as we rotate, we have total freedom of movement. We can also make adjustments under the Object Properties menu as well. We'll see 3 rotation fields we can use in 2D and 3D, each corresponding to one of the arrows on the 3D gizmo. In this example, we can use the green arrow or rotation Y to adjust our rotation. We'll continue to rotate and switch to the Move tool to put our beam in place under the front edge of the roof. Using a combination of these tools, we'll put the beam in place. However, we notice that our beam isn't quite big enough to cover the entire edge of the roof. We can adjust it in 3D or quickly update this back in 2D as well. When we return to 2D, we see our shape has no points we can adjust. That's no problem. Under the height box, we'll see the button for Edit Object. Once we click on this, our shape can now be edited. Even though it's been rotated back in 2D, it retains the 3D position. We'll grab the midpoint and stretch our beam to be 12 feet instead of 10. Once complete, we'll click back on Edit Object. In 3D, we can see our shape has been extended, but it retained its rotation angle. We may need to adjust the position with Move now that it's been changed. Feel free to pause the video at any time to place the beam in position. Next, we need to add the beam to the other end of the roof. We'll select our beam, copy it, and paste it while in 3D. Next, we'll turn the World Angle Snap back on so we can more easily place the beam into position. With Rotate, we'll turn our beam around to mirror the original. Now with the Move tool, we'll set it in place. Pause the video at any time to place your beam into position. We need to add 2 more sets of beams to our roof. We'll select the first beam, then press and hold Control on the keyboard, then left-click to select the second. With both selected, we'll copy the beams, then paste them. Now we can use the Move tool to place them in the center of the roof. Pause the video at any time to finish placing the beams. We'll add one final pair. We'll paste again and place these beams close to the house. Once again, pause the video at any time to finish placing the beams. The final step to complete our roof is adding support columns. Before we do, we need to know how tall to make them. We could draw a simple shape and adjust the height in 3D until it reaches our roof, or we can use the Measure tool in 3D. With the Measure tool selected in 3D, we'll click on the corner of one of our beams and measure down to the ground. We see the value is 14 feet. So now we can draw our column. We'd like our column to be sloped along the edges. First in 2D, we'll use the Line tool to create a 14 feet by 1 foot rectangle. Next, we'll adjust the shape to give it the angled look we're after. We'll set our grid value to 3 inches and then use the Move tool to adjust our points. We want the bottom of the column to be 2 feet 6 inches, so we'll drag our first point 9 inches and then the other as well. In 3D, we'll make sure the column is selected and choose the Rotate tool. We'll rotate our column to stand upright, with the wider sections toward the ground. Now with the Move tool, we'll put the column in place under our roof and beams. We'll adjust the elevation and position by using the Move and the various arrows. Pause the video at any time to finish placing the column. We need a second column, so we'll copy, paste, and position the column. Once again, pause the video at any time to finish placing the column. Later in Materials, we can give our columns a new finish. Next, we want to create a ramp to get from our hardscape down to the pool. In 2D, we'll draw a 5x5 square and set the height to 1 inch. In 3D, we can see our 1-inch tall custom shape. How do we turn this into a ramp? Let's review in 2D first. Below our height box is an option for point. This setting allows us to assign different heights to the various parts of our custom shapes. We'll use this setting to create our ramp. We want the back side of the shape to meet our hardscape, so with our Move tool, we'll select the midpoint on that side of the shape to adjust the height of this side. We'll set the height to 3 feet under point. In 3D, we now see a wedge 1 inch tall at the bottom and 3 feet tall at the top. To get our ramp just right, we'll make further adjustments in 3D. To adjust the height, just as we did in 2D, we'll use our Move tool to select the hollow point in 3D. We can adjust the point value in the panel or simply drag the side of the custom shape to the desired height. We can use both of these techniques to get it just right. Currently, our ramp is too steep. Using the Move tool in 3D, we can drag the hollow purple point to make our ramp longer. Now our ramp is perfect. In the walls, fences, and railing stage, we can quickly add railing that automatically goes down our ramp. Our ramp looks great, but our client also wants to see a staircase surround. No problem. We'll delete our ramp and create this option for our client. We'll start by creating the surround. With the Arc tool, we'll create a 4-foot radius going to the right. Once set in place, we'll draw the arc so that it stops 7 feet from our upper hardscape. Next, we'll switch to the Outline tool. When we do, we see the endpoints turn orange. This indicates to us that we can outline from these points. We'll left-click on our last point and offset 1 foot. When we click again, we now have a 1-foot wide custom shape wall. In 3D, we see our custom shape. Just as we did with our ramp, we'll select the midpoint at the end of our custom shape with the Move tool. We want this side to be 2 feet 6 inches tall. We can drag the point in 3D or set the height under point in the pane. Next, we'll select the midpoint at the back of the shape and set it to be 5 feet 6 inches tall, again by dragging in 3D or setting the value in the panel. Now we'll turn the lip style to round and set the height to 2 inches. For custom shapes with adjusted point heights, the standard height controls the size of the lip. We need the exact same shape on the left side of our stairs, so we'll copy the shape, paste it, then use the Mirror Horizontal button under Object Modification to flip it. We'll place it 5 feet to the left of our first shape, leaving room for our staircase. Later, in Hardscapes, we can add the staircase to complete the design for our client. This completes instructions on the Custom Shapes tool. For more information, please visit support.structurestudios.com, email support@structurestudios.com, or call 800-778-8996.